Always so awkward. Good evening. I'd like to call the regular City of Vacaville Parks and Rec Commission meeting on September 7, 2022 to order and ask Ms. Secretary if she would call the roll.
Commissioner Oz?
Here.
Commissioner Berruman?
Here.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Here.
Commissioner McMahon?
Here.
Commissioner Shea?
Here.
Vice Chair Thompson?
Here.
Chair Vasquez?
Here. And if we could now present the Pledge of Allegiance, and everyone please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So everyone's had a chance to review the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion approved.
Okay, so a motion from Thompson, second from McMahon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and we've received the minutes from the July 6th Parks and Rec Commission meeting of 2022. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Tracy?
Apologize. I have none, Chair.
Okay, great. And has the commission had a chance to review? And if so, can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Shea, seconded by Gutierrez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to agenda item 5, communications. Acting Director Hubbard, do we have any communications for the commission?
Thank you, Commission Chair. You have a letter from Diana Flores related to pickleball. And although it wasn't directed to the Community Service Commission, it did reference the commission, so we thought it'd be important for it to be in your packet. And I do see some folks here probably who will be speaking from business from the floor, when it's their time. So we wanted you guys to have that correspondence and then have the heads up that they will be speaking from business from the floor. So thank you.
Great, thank you. And thank you for forwarding it on. Moving on to agenda item 6, presentations. Acting Director Hubbard, would you like to introduce the next item to the commission?
Sure. We have Recreation Coordinator Jennifer Baker, who will be doing a presentation for our karate program.
I got, oh, there you go.
Is it good now?
It,
Okay, perfect. Hello, good evening. Thank you, Reggie. I am here tonight actually with Elizabeth as the supervisor, and I'm the coordinator overseeing our Reyes Kempo karate program. We're here tonight actually to honor them in their 55 years of success with the Parks and Rec Department. Professor Alan Reyes actually partnered with the city in 1967, providing our community with a wonderful, successful program. Sadly, we did lose him in 2019, but we were lucky enough to have Ed and Peggy Zakowski step up and take over the program. They've continued his legacy, and it's thriving today ever since they've stepped up to do that for us. So we would like to present Ed and Peggy. They are here if you guys want to come up. Or Ed. With this plaque, it's just a plaque of gratitude as we celebrate 55 years of Reyes Kempo Karate. I didn't know if you guys wanted to speak on that.
Yeah. Pictures. I want to do pictures. Okay. All right. I just, is this thing on?
Yes.
Everybody can hear me. Excuse the voice. I had throat surgery a couple of months ago. So this is my new voice for now. But just to clarify it again, my name is Ed Zakowski, and I've been with Reyes Kempo for 45 years. And just to give you a little bit of background, you know, and I'll make it quick, is that, you know, we at Reyes Kempo Karate are very proud to accept this award in recognition for 55 years of working with the city of Vacaville and the citizens and teaching the art of Kempo self-defense. And just to give you a little story, like Jennifer was saying, is that it did start back in 1967, but it started under Great Grandmaster Alejo Reyes. And when it started from Alejo Reyes, he was approached by the city of Vacaville, the recreation department, and asked if he could set up a self-defense program, which he did. So with that, he and his son, which was Senior Grandmaster Alan Reyes, who was the one that passed away in 2019, and he was the successor to Reyes Kippo Karate. And so they went on to teach Reyes Kippo self-defense program since 1967, which has obviously been 55 years. And we figured that with the 55 years, excuse me, my throat, that the 55 years, that we've been here teaching through the city of Vacaville, that we estimate that we've had probably over 24,000 students that's participated in our program. And that's just, Vacaville alone. That's not counting Alejo Reyes came over in 1960 and opened up one of the first schools in this area in Fairfield and Suisun, but so that's not even counting the Fairfield or Suisun. So again, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone from this, the city throughout the years for the help and support that they have given Reyes Kippo. And I also want to thank all of our students that we have and all of our instructors, because without them, I could not do this alone. And when me and my wife decided to take this over in 2019, when Senior Grandmaster Alan Reyes passed away, I didn't know if we were going to shut down or not. But anyway, the legacy of Reyes Kippo is still alive and still well, and we will be here as long as we still have students that are willing to sign up. So again, I thank the support from Elizabeth, Jennifer, everyone else throughout the years, all of our instructors, and everyone else. And especially thanks for Great Grandmaster Alejo Reyes and Senior Grandmaster Alan Reyes. For without those two, there would not be us standing here today, for sure. So thank you all again. Okay, that's it.
Well, thank you both for continuing the legacy and all the time and effort that you all put into this. Do you think maybe we could get a better picture? Yeah, and have the students come down too?
Okay, so all of our
Yeah.
instructors, and come on down.
Yeah, no.
I'd like to introduce Senior Grandmaster Alan Reyes' daughter that's here. She's the only one left in the area. So I wanted to recognize them as well.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And these are some of our top instructors here that we have. So again, without you guys, I could not do this by myself, believe me. So it's a team effort for sure. All right. Let me get a plaque here.
Oh, yeah, the plaque.
And then if you would like to,
Yeah.
that would be really lovely. Okay, ready guys? Okay, 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Okay, one more for the little guy. 1, 2.
Thank you very much.
For the students up here. Set position. Set. Position move. Salute. Lead. That position move. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
And now we have to get back because we have classes to teach.
Awesome.
Thank you
Well,
all.
thank you all for coming, and thank you to the family for coming as well. And congratulations on such an amazing legacy in Vacaville and many more years to come, right? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, where do we go from 55 years? That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth, too, for taking the photos. Okay, so moving on to 6B, Youth Services. Recreation
Yes.
Coordinator, Lisa McAllister.
Yeah, thank you, Commission Chair. Lisa McAllister will be presenting on her program area youth services.
Thank you, Reggie. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commission. It is nice to formally meet each of you. Thank you for this opportunity to come in and give this presentation on behalf of Youth Services. Okay, our Thank Goodness It's Fun Club. Thank you, Tracy. The Thank Goodness It's Fun Club. The TGIF Fun Club provides quality recreational enrichment for grades K through 6. Students participate in daily after-school activities.
It's not on display.
Right here. Thank you for paying attention. That was a test. Okay. Okay, third time's the charm. Okay. Okay, where were we? Students participate in daily after-school activities with meaningful opportunity learning activities that promote lifelong skills. We have 7 locations for our TGIF program, 2 of which are in the Travis Unified School District. Sierra Vista is our only site within a school campus. A highlight at this location is journaling. They focus quite a bit on their curriculum for both written word and art expression. Alamo TGIF is our only site with a garden club. They participate in exploring in the planning, implementing, and tending to their garden, in addition to a fitness and sports club. Browns Valley. Our Browns Valley location for TGIF has proven to show a love for science exploration, and it's built into their weekly curriculum and art activities. TGIF Browns Valley provides daily outdoor sporting activities such as baseball, soccer, and football. Cambridge. Our Cambridge TGIF has a variety of weekly activities with a very strong focus on dance fitness as well as a homework help buddy system. Meadowlands. Our Meadowlands TGIF serves the Callison Elementary students. This location has a large field from the playground that's naturally providing our participants with opportunities for outdoor group activities and sport. Foxborough TGIF is one of 2 Travis School District locations in addition to Cambridge. It is located at Arlington Park. Participants benefit from the playground and large adjacent fields. Cooper TGIF is another location that benefits from a large field adjacent to the playground. Field sports are a huge hit for the Cooper student. Now we will transition to our summer camp. Youth Services provides 4 summer camps with various recreational activities and weekly themes. Camp Adobe. Camp Adobe offers multiple learning opportunities to explore outdoor adventures and the animals of the Pina Adobe and Lagoon Valley. In addition, Camp Adobe has a strong partnership with the Pina Adobe Historical Society. Youth Services would like to take the opportunity to send a special thank you to PAWS for offering exciting educational weekly workshops for all of our campers. Camp Kindness. Camp Kindness is designed for kindergarten and first graders. They participate in themed weeks, special guests, and this is our only camp that participates in nap time. Camp Kindness. Camp Kindness focuses on the importance of kindness and compassion and how to become responsible pet owners. Camp Splash. Camp Splash offers hours of water play throughout the week in addition to group games. team building, and arts and crafts. Learning opportunities for ongoing water safety skills is a key component for Camp Splash as they partner with the aquatic staff. Lego Camp. Lego Camp is provided by Playwell Technologies. They provide weekly themes that consist of using Lego materials to create opportunities for learning, engineering, architecture, and STEM exploration with design daily projects for ages 5 through 12. Challenges. Our challenges and goals for our 22-23 school year. Currently, we are not offering any before school care. We are very hopeful. Our youth services is very optimistic that before school care will return at some point this school year. Currently, it's the staffing levels that contribute to our challenges and offering more programming. Strong efforts continue with our marketing and our recruitment in hopes to increase staffing and allow for program expansion. A huge focus for youth service this year in terms of our goals is to increase staff training opportunities, offering a variety of training opportunities that will strengthen the skills and the tools for youth services staff, and in forms of large group trainings, individual coaching, peer networking, and partnerships with the school district. This concludes the youth services presentation. I would like to thank you for your time in sharing how youth services impacts our city. We open the floor for questions and comments.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Are there any commissioner questions or comments? Commissioner Shea.
I just want to thank you for your presentation. I myself am an alumni of the Tgif program, and I turned out okay, so it must be a pretty great program.
I love the way you put that. Alumni.
Questionable. So thank you so much for the work you do in the community. It's a huge help to working parents. And I know that it was a huge benefit to my family, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Yeah, Commissioner Ellis.
One question, I noticed that at the different locations there was a focused activity, and they all varied from each one. How do you come about that? Is it just come about naturally, or was there a process to select those focus areas?
That is a great question. As you can see, most of our sites participate in many of the same type of programming and enrichment. You'll see, for example, our Browns Valley location. I mentioned a strong focus in our science exploration, and that is a result of a very talented staff member who has a degree in science and engineering. And so where you see differences at different locations is based off of the skill set, the experience, and the passion of the staff at that location. In addition to our enrichment programs that we already partner with the Beyond the Bell program at the schools.
Okay, any other commissioner questions or comments? All right, thank you so much, Lisa, for the presentation. It's very informative.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Everybody's getting rounds of applause tonight. Okay, so moving on to agenda item 7, business from the floor. Business from the floor is the time to address the commission with issues that are not on the agenda, that are within the commission's subject matter jurisdiction. There is a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Before we open the mic, though, I wanted to, Acting Director Hubbard had a quick announcement before we open the podium.
Thank you, Commission Chair. Much appreciated. We have newly hired Recreation Coordinator Giorgio Silvelka. Hope I didn't butcher your name too much, with us this evening, and we wanted to introduce her to the Commission. She took over for Audrey Calder, who was here for over 20 years. So although she has big shoes to fill, I think she's going to do an excellent job, but we wanted her to come up and tell you a little bit about herself tonight.
Good evening, everyone. It's a little loud, sorry. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you for having me here. So I was asked to give a little bit of my background. So essentially, I started my career as a production assistant working for a corporate communications company. There I did really exciting things like driving everyone around, running errands, making sure everyone had coffee, and eventually worked my way into more of the production planning process. I was promoted to a multimedia producer where I really developed a skill set as far as contracts, logistics, travel, licensing, all of those types of things. Eventually, I then moved into the area of public relations and event planning. I got to work on a lot of really exciting projects, working out of New York City and LA, so New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, American Film Festival, Cannes, things like that. Eventually, I decided, some of it became a little bit disenchanting. I decided I kind of wanted a little bit more meaning in my life. I was very fortunate to meet a recreation therapist who hired me at an assisted living community. That's where I really fell in love with seniors, with activities, and for me, it wasn't just about the activities I was providing, but that meaning in their lives. It was really, really meaningful for me as well. And I've been an activity director for over a decade, primarily in assisted living senior communities. And I have to say, I was heavily influenced by watching my mother after she became a widow. She got involved at the senior community, the senior center, and I was very moved by how much it impacted her life. Like, she literally came alive again from going to the senior center. So I personally am thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be part of that. I'm an anti-aging advocate. I think I see a lot of the changing trends and expectations of seniors, and I'm just really excited to be part of that and super excited to be here.
Well, welcome, Georgie. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All the applause tonight. Okay, so we will now go ahead and open business from the floor. It is 3 minutes, and I will try to use the timer. So you'll see the lights flash here, and does it go on the screen? It's supposed to, I think. I'm not sure. So we'll go ahead and start.
Good evening. My name is Ana Maria Martel, and I'm a resident of Vacaville. I have been here, living here since 1996, and I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you today. One of the numbers that I'm going to throw at you is that I pay $18,870.92 in taxes, in real estate taxes. That is slightly more than $40 a day. I started doing water aerobics in your shallow pool because I don't swim and I'm very uncomfortable if I can't touch bottom, when I paid $55 for 30 visits. The last time I purchased tickets, I paid $135 for 30 visits, which is approximately $4.50 a day. Now, I understand that the pool requires maintenance. You have to have a lifeguard, you have to have chemicals, you have to heat it in the winter. So I don't mind paying to use the pool. But on Monday, we were told we could not use our pass and we had to pay $7 in cash or credit card. And when we went and complained and gave a hard time to the person in charge of the pool, she explained to us that you have one person. Most of the lifeguards look like they're high school kids, and many of the instructors look like they're high school or junior college kids. We have an adult instructor who is very good, and she has some kind of agreement with the city where she gets 60% of the income, and the city gets 40%. So 60% of $7, which is what they charged us, is $4.50. So basically, no, it's $4.20. So basically there was 30 cents left for the city. But it appears to us, or we were told, that the city considers the pool to be a money-making enterprise. That this is not a service you're providing to me for my tax dollars. This is something that you're running for money. So I want to compare that with the services I used to get at North Bay before North Bay closed. North Bay charged $90 a month for 2 people. It was open 7 days a week. It had water aerobics 7 days a week. And on weekdays, it had water aerobics morning and afternoon. In addition to that, when I was done with my water aerobics, I got fluffy towels, I got shampoo, I got all that stuff as part of my $90 for 2 people. So you're not even comparing, it's not even comparable to what should be. But my complaint here is I pay a lot of taxes. I don't mind paying extra for the pool maintenance, but I don't think the pool should be run as a money-making issue. It should be a service for the rest of us. It's the only thing for Parks and Recs that I get for my $18,000, almost $19,000 in real estate taxes. And I see your light shining. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Murphy. I'm the Youth Engagement Program Manager at Sustainable Solana. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about the Rocky Hill Trail Beautification Project. We've received a letter of support from the city last year to apply for a grant. We received notification that we were awarded that grant earlier this year, and we're really looking forward to starting with the project. The project is to help create a native water-wise garden along the Rocky Hill Trail. And we're really excited to get this project started. As part of that project, we're going to be recruiting 15 youths for training workshops. We're going to be teaching them how to consult, how to tackle local environmental justice issues, and not just local ones, but global ones. We're trying to teach them how to affect change locally through the political process and how to make their voices heard. They're going to be participating in 4 on-site planting workshops to help create the project. And of course, all the youth will receive a stipend for their participation. I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to say thank you to everyone who's given us a hand, Melanie Acampo, Sarah Nolan, Andrew Shuck, and Council Member Silva. But of course, we could always use any more help that anyone's willing to provide, especially when it comes to navigating city departments that we're not super used to. If anyone's interested in giving us a hand, you can reach me at patrick@sustainablesolano.org. Have these little sheets that explain more about our project too, if anyone's interested. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we take the sheet, maybe Tracy, can you get the sheets and the commissioners can get them after the meeting? Do you want to give the sheets to Tracy? Yeah, and then we can get one after the meeting. Thank you. Any other business from the floor?
So good evening. I'm Diana Flores. I'm the one who sent the letter for the pickleball there. I haven't public spoken a long time, so I'm a little bit jittery, but bear with me here. So I started playing pickleball during COVID about 2.5 years ago, and it has been an eye-opening experience for me. I know it's pickleball, right? But I think the last conversation that was had with the group was in 2015, where they had gone in and drawn some lines on some tennis courts for pickleball, which was a great start, and we've enjoyed it, immensely, and it's been working, pretty good for us. But pickleball has expanded in the past few years, I think at 11.5% over the past 5 years, each year 11.5%. It's actually the fastest growing sport right now in the nation. So it's, I don't know, I don't think it's going anywhere soon, but it encompasses a lot of people. I've played kids from 11 years old who actually almost beat me. And I played an 86-year-old who did beat me. So, I mean, it encompasses, a lot of people here, all nationalities, genders. It's a very diverse crowd that comes out to the court. And We did over the weekend, being it's a holiday weekend, we did grab some names, of people that came out. And on one day, we had 21 people that came out to play at just the one day. But you can have up to 50, 60 people rotating through on those weekends on a Saturday and a Sunday. We get 21 people on a Tuesday morning. It's very popular right now. It's cheap. You need a paddle and a wiffle ball and a court, and that's what you need. It also encompasses all of the athletic abilities, so you don't have to be strong or anything, because a lot of times it's the short, soft game that wins. It's not. Have any of you played? No? No? Oh, you've got to come. You've got to come. So, people like myself I've seen out there, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I have a lot more here, and I'd love to share with you at some point if, we can get together. I would like that and share some more. But there's a couple other people that'll help fill you in on some other things. So, thank you.
Thank you. I love the applause.
Good evening.
Hello.
I'm John Goodwin. Thanks for letting me speak for a second. I'll be brief. I am here about the pickleball, but I did want to say thank you for, my wife and I use the swim complex 5 days a week. It's awesome. We love that. Thank you for that. I wanted to say a few things, and I started playing pickleball like 2 years ago in COVID, and I met all of these people. They're awesome. I didn't know any of them. Very inviting. I was interested in pickleball. I heard about it. I saw it at the court. I walked by. Somebody's literally saying, "You want to play? We got a paddle for you." They invited you up, and it's an open group, and you can just show up, and they rotate you in. There's people that'll teach you how to play, and it's easy to learn. It's quick to learn, and it's awesome. I know Vacaville's looking for ways to enhance the sense of community, the quality of life for Vacaville. This is awesome. It's cheap, it's easy. Other communities are doing it. I'm sure you've probably heard Fairfield has made what I think is a relatively small investment for 16 courts, permanent courts. And it's, a lot of people are playing there. And I don't know, I think Vacaville's missing out. And I really hope, been a longtime resident here, I really hope you guys listen to this and obviously invite you out there Saturday, Sunday mornings, North Orchard. That's where we seem to be playing lately. But it's a very inviting group. Met all these people. They're awesome.
Thank you.
Tom Norris, I'm part of the pickle group. Don't start the clock yet.
Oh, okay.
Lisa and Danielle, my son is an alumni. He also, that was his first job at Tgif when he was in high school. He's been pouring into kids for years. He's been a 5th grade school teacher. He just took a job up in Washington as a pastor over youth ministry. So thank you guys. Thank you. Now you can start.
Okay, I'll start it now. Thank you.
I've got some goofy maps. This is well before I looked at your master plan, and then of course when I read your master plan, I can't decide. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I've just listed out where the tennis courts are and where the major housing areas are. And as you can tell, they're not scientifically done the 1.5 mile around the radius of a community park or a neighborhood park or anything. But it was interesting reading the master plan. And the master plan was published April 2021. And there are several references about pickleball in there. And it is lining a number of the courts in the community. And that's been completed. So we thank you for that. But I think it's time to take the next step. I grew up in a community of 25,000 people. It's grown. It's now 55,000 in Arizona. They converted tennis courts. They now have 16 pickleball courts, permanently built pickleball courts. They put in another 8 after they converted. There's also a private resort in that community because it's a snowbird community, and they put in 32 courts. They are all being used, except for in the summertime in Arizona. The community courts are used, but the other one is for the snowbirds. So what I would like to do is to talk or ask, what direction can we take to potentially look at the North Valley area, because that's still in the planning stage, and there's supposed to be another, I think, 6 or 8 acre park up there, and there's already Corderos Park up there that is just a huge piece of land without a court on it. It's grass and a picnic area and a playground. But is there an opportunity to convert some of those areas that aren't built out around and the community already expects something? So look at that plan. And then we know Aspen is going in, and they mentioned pickleball courts, and it would be nice to know, hey, get a little better idea what South Lagoon is going to have. And then the Rogers Ranch area, which is just south of Brighton Landing. Brighton Landing, is that correct? Yeah. They put in a large park again, probably 6 acres, is that probably what it is? 6 acres, but it's all grass and then a small playground area. So no basketball court, no other type of courts. So how can we maybe look at some of those projects and implement a change in your master plan to include building out some of those areas? So can I leave my name and number somewhere?
We could leave it with Tracy. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Denise Doyle, and I also wanted you to consider maybe on the short-term side, there's a big group of us that like to play in the evening, and there's no lights available anywhere except for Three Oaks. So there's 4 courts, tennis courts there, and if we converted 2 of the tennis courts to 4 pickleball courts, so we'd have some place to play at night.
Hello, my name is Darlene. I prepared a little something to say, so I didn't just say I've been a small business owner in downtown Vacaville for 25 years, and I would love to see the revenue that building our own pickleball courts in Vacaville would bring. I've played pickleball for 2.5 years and have seen many people come to play on our courts that we set up at the North Orchard Park. There is one shady court at North Orchard, and some of us like to play on a hot sunny morning in the shade. I often stop for coffee on the way, either at Pure Grain Bakery or Journey Coffee downtown, and I often have Taco Tuesday and a tequila shot at Los Reyes, especially after having had my butt kicked on the court, or I'll bring burritos home for the family from Vasquez Deli. I'd like to see people stop and have a pedicure, or after pickleball and pamper their tired feet, or stop and fix a chipped fingernail, or have a mani-pedi before a tournament a mani-pedi before a tournament to match your polish to your outfit, because it's quite a stylish sport. My point is, all of us stop where we are and do our shopping, whatever it might be: food, grocery, gas, box store, mani-pedi. We stop where we are and we shop and go home. I'd like to see that revenue stay in Vacaville, my hometown. I'd like to be proud of the city and know that our city cares about our health and well-being, and proud of the people who choose to live here. So build it and they will come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nancy Chung. I want all our pickleball players to stand up. This is a pickleball. This is what we're advocating for. Excellent job, you guys coming. This is only a small portion of us. Tiny, small portion of us.
As a career, for my career, I'm a career social worker. I work for Solano County as a social worker. I advocate for basic human needs with all the clients I serve. I've been in your CMF prison. I've worked with medically fragile infants, families with CPS. I did 7 years with CPS. And that's having to pull kids from families, dealing with court systems, and figuring out ways to get them back together. So as a social worker, it's been kind of easy to advocate for their needs. Basic human functional needs, always dealing with crisis, always dealing with a problem. I do joke to my pickleball friends who have other jobs than social work, where, hey, all my phone calls I get is a problem, okay? It's a problem. That's the only reason why they'll call me. So advocating for my clients through work is kind of like, you guys see it. You guys are nodding, seeing, okay, yeah, I'm hungry. I need someplace to sleep. I need to be indoors. Pretty basic needs. I need a toilet, whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, as I'm thinking about coming to this meeting, I just came from work, and I'm like, okay, how am I gonna advocate for this? How am I gonna advocate to all of you guys sitting up there that, okay, this has become a need, okay? It's not really, how is this a need? So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how is this a need? So, okay, yeah, I see my clients are so easy. But with this, when I'm thinking about, okay, I'm always dealing with crisis management, issues, problems with clients. So in terms of, and I've looked at your website and things like that, and I'm like, parks make life better. I'm like, okay. So what I'm looking at is, what does pickleball give to us? Why is it growing so fast? And not just here, although California is one of the fastest growing regions, along with the southern Florida area also, but it's worldwide. We're looking at pickleball as an Olympic sport. People are drawn to us when we're out there playing. They walk up to us, they're peeking, and we're all like, yeah, we are, like, come on, we've got a paddle, come on. It started off with pickleball players being the older, and I was like one of the younger ones, yes, I got beaten by an 80-something-year-old too.
Can you wrap up? Sorry. Time.
Oh my God, I'm out of time.
Wrap up what you're thinking.
Okay,
Yep.
so anyways, my pickleball players, they advocated for pickleball. Growing, we're here, there is a need, and honestly, Vacaville started off great, now lagging behind, because as we look across the nation, we've got over 10,000 places to play. We've got 4.3 million pickleball players. We've got 53,000 active members on the USAPA site that are actively playing tournaments. I do represent the North counties in the Western region, which covers California, Oregon, and Washington as a USAPA ambassador. So it is important for me to actually make it to be able to speak to you guys about pickleball. And it's actually a healthy thing. And that's kind of like the bottom line. It's like we've got kids, we've got parents, grandparents all playing together. And we do see families after dinner, we know they're all coming out and that's their activity. They're hitting the pickleball around with mom, dad, and the kids. We do see that a lot. That's happening a lot more. Younger players are coming out more. Older players are still here. And it's actually something, instead of sitting home and watching Netflix or whatever, people are going out and actually doing an activity and getting healthy. So that's where I'm looking at the crisis mode with my work and my clientele versus the preventative, healthy mode that we want for actually our residents and our community. And it's right here, and we're looking at the master plan. I started playing before COVID. So I did see the progression, I did see the growth. And it is
you.
growing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, and you guys can have this.
I can, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson Mary Vasquez and council members for listening to us and our passion for pickleball. And these are all my friends. I've never played an organized sport in my life. Pickleball, I am an addict, much to my husband's dismay. But anyway, parks and recreations are essential to a community. Parks and recreation promote health and wellness. They promote activities critical to child development. They drive the economic opportunities in a town, and they unite people. I have so many friends right now, and they gave me a birthday party for my 62nd birthday, and we had 11 courts going at Allen Witt Park. I sure wish they were here, but we were at Allen Witt. And so 4 times 11, that's over 44 people, plus people sitting around eating, visiting, and anyway. Vacaville's goals include healthy, accessible activities for its residents. Pickleball is just that. A healthy activity that is played across all ages. Previously, non-active adults and children are out playing pickleball. But pickleball isn't accessible in the town of Vacaville. In Vacaville, there are 17 tennis courts and 0 pickleball courts. The city installs and maintains basketball courts on a regular basis. They supply the space for the courts, hoops, and nets, and recently even purchased balls at one of the parks. The city provides courts and nets for tennis and recently repaved the courts at Alamo Park for tennis only. The city provides backstops and fields for baseball and softball, soccer fields and goals for soccer, courses and nets for disc golf, land, water bags for dog parks, not water, land, water, bags at dog parks, buildings, ticket booths, stages, and lighting for the arts, but nothing for pickleball. Yes, there are 4 painted courts at 3 Oaks, but unless we purchase our own net, haul our net, set up our net, tear down our net, there's no pickleball. We can't, it would be like putting a volleyball net up and saying, you tennis players play with this, we set it up for you. Pickleball players we can bring a paddle and a ball, but we don't have the nets. We don't have that opportunity. We've talked to Elizabeth about teaching lessons. We'd love to teach lessons, but where? Is the city gonna set up nets for us? Are they gonna haul them, take them down? You know, there are people asking all the time when they drop in, they're like, I've never played before. Grab a paddle, we'll teach you. There is revenue with pickleball. While Allen Witt was closed for construction, we played at 3 Oaks. The out-of-towners planned their trips to Costco, Grocery Outlet, Pacific Hardware, etc. Now I travel to Allen Witt and do the same. I fill up my gas tank in Fairfield. By the way, it's like 35-40 cents cheaper in Fairfield. I stop at Hobby Lobby instead of going to Joann Fabrics. I stop at Target or Walmart in Fairfield instead of running across town in Vacaville. And it all adds up. I'm just one person. I may not spend a whole lot just on cute pickleball outfits, but you know, I'm one person and there are many that do that. Fairfield is set to host pickleball tournaments, which brings in exposure to their town, hotel, restaurant, and other streams of revenue to their town. Ooh, I'm out of time. This is it. Vacaville's a good place to live, but with pickleball courts, permanent pickleball courts put in, it's gonna be a great place to live. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Griffin Johnston. This is my family. I have 3 brothers, and we all enjoy playing pickleball. I started playing pickleball in Florida. There were lots of courts. There were 6 courts that I could bike to in the morning and play, and I learned just by going up there, and people would give me a paddle, and like I could just learn slowly. And then I moved to North Carolina, and there were also lots of pickleball courts there, not very many tennis courts. And once we got here, I mean, there are pickleball lines. It's just very confusing to have tennis court lines and pickleball court lines, and I'm like, where's the out? Where's the, like, what's in? And I mean, I just go there when there are other people there with nets, because we don't have any nets that we can bring. So I just hope we can get some courts in Vacaville, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I go by Griffin's dad. I also go by Caden's dad, Andrew's dad, and Mason's dad, and Rachel's financer for pickleball. And I play as well. I just wanted to just emphasize a few things that have already been made. We lived in all those different states because I was completing some medical training. And it's amazing. If I had a patient come in for a pre-surgical appointment and I knew they were a pickleball player, I know that they're healthy, they're gonna do just fine. They're active, and it's an extremely accessible sport, right? I mean, this is a pretty, diverse, crowd, all sorts of ages, body sizes, body types, degrees of activity, but we all can play. It's a very accessible sport. It also brings generations together. I don't know, when was the last time you ever heard a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old talk about going somewhere and playing with multiple generations of people, and think about the mentoring that can happen there. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I don't know of too many sports that are like that. But it's very inaccessible to play it here. Oh, thanks, Mason. It's very inaccessible to play here, and I think it's a shame. We've lived in some other places with a lot fewer community services, but still saw value in ones that had a tremendous ROI, and I feel like pickleball would be that as well. So I can't say any better than my son Griffin did, I think. So I hope everyone remembers what he said, and I hope we go with some action and actually get something built that works, that's at night, that's safe, that has a parking lots for it, so that it's obvious that it's meant for the community to use. So thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Looks like there's no more business from the floor, so I'm going to go ahead and close business from the floor, and thank everyone for coming in tonight and sharing your concerns with the commission. I can speak on behalf of the commission. We appreciate it and appreciate your time coming in. Let's see. So moving on to agenda number 8, reports of park manager, David Jacobson.
There we go. Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. So a few updates for you. We've completed in the last month or so. This was part of some work that was scheduled to be done prior to COVID, and we just finally got it done because of materials and contractor availability. The basketball court, the before photos on the left, and the photo of the resurfaced court is on the right, and that was at Hawkins Park. That basketball court was resurfaced. Magnolia Park, again, the before the surfacing, you'll see the longitudinal cracking and stuff, so we took care of that with this resurfacing project. Orchard Park, again, that court was just resurfaced. Pretty self-explanatory there. And then Alamo Creek, the tennis courts resurfaced. You can see there's a transverse cracking and stuff that was removed, and then the surfacing gets recolored. And then just a couple things coming up. At Alamo Creek Park is a part of Measure M funding. We're going to replace the existing 10 fitness stations there. We're going to be, some of those places, we're going to be moving some of the fencing to make room for the new equipment. And those have been ordered, and we've got some bids out to get quotes from contractors to get that work done. And then finally at Larson, the ball fields, we're going to do some fencing improvements for the user groups over there, and then add a storage area so they can store equipment and materials they need to prep with for their fields. And that concludes my update. Can I take any questions?
Are there any commissioner questions or comments for Mr. Jacobson? All right, well, sorry. Oh, sorry. There you go, Commissioner Gutierrez.
Just a really quick question on the replacement of the 10 exercise areas. Is that replacing them because they were damaged or just old?
So yeah, they were just old, and there was actually 3 of the 10 that we removed, and probably in the last 10, 12 months, because they had gotten, basically they just rusted at the bottom where they were embedded in the ground. I think that park's at least 25 years old. So that's the main reason, is the system's old, and it was wood. That's another problem with something like that. It just has to be replaced a lot. The new components have good coatings on them, and they'll certainly have a long service life.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you so much,
you.
Mr. Jacobson. Okay, so moving on to agenda item 9, business, we have none. So moving on to agenda item 10, committee reports, which we have quite a few tonight. So starting with 10A, Play for All Committee, Commissioner Shea.
Yeah, so a lot of really exciting news and movement with Play for All Park. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat brief. It's quite a laundry list of things that have happened recently. A lot of funding that was kind of, on hold or they were waiting to hear about came through. First 5 Solano donated $400,000 to the furtherment of Play for All Park. Measure M, of course, Mayor Rowlett designated $100,000 of Measure M money toward Play for All, but the really big, exciting news was that the California Department of Parks and Recreation granted Play for All $1.7 million to continue the development of Play for All Park, which is going to go a long way. It'll help complete phase 1 and also help them begin phase 2. So there's a lot of stuff there that's under construction right now. There's bathrooms under construction. They're building some of the picnic pavilions that are sponsored by various agencies and businesses throughout town. They are almost done with the irrigation system there. They've poured the concrete for the flagpole area, and 20 ADA approved picnic tables just arrived that were donated by the Rotary Club that are being installed in the park. On August 15th, Play for All hosted a play date for a community group, Parents Empowering Parents. It's a local parent support group for families with special needs. And we all went out and had a really great time using the specialized equipment. Lots of people of various abilities just having a really fun time. It was very exciting to see. The park get some play for once instead of kind of sitting stagnant. But the really big news is, and the biggest news of all, is that all of this funding that's come through and all of the development that's been happening means that there's officially a grand opening date. And they will have their grand opening on October 29th. The times are still being hashed out, but there will be an event in the morning. And it's costumes welcome as long as they're playground friendly, because it's, close to Halloween. So Lots of really good stuff happening. They still need money, though. They're never not going to need money, right, for that phase 2. So September 12th is the last day to buy personalized bricks if you want to have a memorial, some kind of representation at the park. September 12th is the last day to purchase those. And of course, you can always provide funding via their website. All I have now. Try to keep it quick.
Thank you. Thank you for the update. Any questions for Commissioner Shea? Thank you so much. Moving on to 10B, Vacaville Performing Arts Theater Season of Shows Committee, Commissioner McMahon.
Thank you very much, Chair. Walking in tonight, I wasn't sure whether to be nervous or feeling safe. Half the audience knew karate and the other half had paddles, so I wasn't sure what was going on. But thank you so much for being here. We hear you, and we appreciate you being here, so thank you so much for that. Last time we met, I had nothing to report. This time we are rolling, and we have shows on the schedule, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen through social media and the city's website and the VPAT website that we have 4 shows scheduled so far, and we're looking to add to that over the concert season. Our first show, Saturday, October the 15th, is Tower of Power. These tickets went on sale yesterday, and they're half sold. So I would recommend when you leave here, go to the website and buy your tickets, because this will likely sell out very quickly. They've already sold half the theater out in less than 24 hours. On Friday, November the 4th, Big Head Todd and the Monsters. On Thursday, January 26th, the Marshall Tucker Band. Friday, April the 28th is Ladies' Night 2023. It's Sheena Easton and Taylor Dane will be here. Absolutely. Right, so please go out and purchase your tickets. These shows will likely sell out. So please go purchase them soon to get your good seats. We are also looking to add 1 to 2 shows to the season, depending on budget and schedules. So we will keep you advised of that. We also will be offering the Air Force Band of the Golden West Holiday Show on December 2nd and December 3rd. There's 2 shows. Those are free shows to the public. It's a nice way to kick off the holiday season. Those tickets will be distributed on November 19th at 10 a.m. and I believe right at the VPAT Center. And it's a complimentary show, and I believe you are limited to 4 tickets per family. It's a great way to kick off the holidays. So that is all I have for VPAT.
Any Commissioner questions or comments for Commissioner McMahon? Okay. Thank you all so much. Moving on to C, Youth Sports Advisory Team, Vice Chair Thompson.
The Youth Sports Advisory Team met on August 25th. I unfortunately was unable to attend, but I do have some highlights. The focus of the meeting was to go over 2023 contracts for all of the leagues and their updated contracts review, and that's been a process that's been ongoing for some time, but it looks like they finally got those resolved. Continued discussion about unauthorized use of fields, people who are coming from outside the city and using fields without legal permits to use so. So there's some concern about those, obviously, people using them without permission. And then discussion of postseason play. We ran into some issues in June and July this year where leagues were not prepared for postseason play, and getting that checked out with the city prior to committing to hosting tournaments beyond the normal regular season. And those are the highlights, unless, Reggie, did I miss anything? Very good.
Any questions or comments for Vice Chair Thompson? My side. Okay, so moving on to 10D, Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance, and back over to Commissioner McMahon.
Thank you, Chair. Unfortunately, I was absent for the August meeting, but here's what I have to report tonight is Vacaville Arts Week is starting through Visit Vacaville, September the 16th through the 25th. Purchase your tickets online for special events, but what happens, there will be several different activities throughout the town and downtown, and it's all regarding art, whether it's physical art or music or a bunch of different events. I would encourage you to visit the Visit Vacaville website And also on Friday, September the 16th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the 22nd Annual Art and Wine Brew Stroll, and that's through our downtown. So downtown businesses will open up their doors, and with your souvenir glass, you'll be able to receive a glass of wine or a beer or other beverages and snacks. And there will be a lot of great deals downtown that evening with live music. Tickets for that are $25 in advance or $35 the day of at the door. And you can purchase those tickets on the downtownvacaville.com website. That's all I have.
All right, any questions or comments for Commissioner McMahon? Okay, thank you so much. 10E, moving on to Arts Advisory Committee, Commissioner Gutierrez.
All right. I should have been on the VPAT committee because I didn't know about the Tower Power tickets, but that's okay. So we met on actually July 27th, and it was the first time that the group got together, so we did an election of chair. Brooke Fox was elected as chair for this committee. We went over public arts roadmap, was actually really interesting. We were able to go over a display of all of the various artwork throughout Vacaville, whether it was a painting, a statue, there were monuments, several, some that I had seen, some that I had never seen before. It was extensive. I just didn't realize that we had this much art around Vacaville, and I'm born and raised here, so it was really nice to see. There were questions about if there was bio info about the artists. There wasn't a lot available. We did have names of the artists, but not a lot about their history and contributions to the city. So that would be nice to get a little bit more about that. And then there were some questions about some copyright work. Were they originals, or were these, you know, some copies of some other work? And there wasn't a lot of information, but I think there'll be more to come on that. We also went over Arts Week again through the 16th through the 25th of this month. So definitely encourage you to find out more about that. There are several different activities going on during that week. So we discussed that as well. We went over the retirement of Director Walker, who is no longer here, but the group was updated about that. We also elected members to a few of the subcommittees as well. And then there was just some maintenance housekeeping. The group also went through like DIAS training and things like that. So that's it.
Okay, any questions or comments for Commissioner Gutierrez? Okay, well, thank you all the commissioners, for all your updates, and all the committee members who are serving on these committees, as well as the staff who help support them. So lots of good work and lots of announcements tonight. So moving on to agenda item 11, reports of park planner, Nemo Gonzalez. And if you want to go ahead and start us off with 11A Trower Park improvement update.
So I've only done this about 10 times, so I'm still having some technical difficulties. Thank you, Tracy. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. That month off just flew by. It's good to see you all in person again, and I've just got some brief updates for you. And just to help you out here, I've got some visuals. Our first update is for Trower Park. Staff presented an updated master plan to the City Council on May 24th. And staff received some comments and requests for plan changes, and subsequently worked with our consultant to make changes. The updated plan was brought back to Council on July 26th and was awarded an additional $700,000 to see the revisions implemented. And so what I wanted to do was briefly explain the exhibits that I've got up on the board. This is the previous master plan update that had come to the commission, was approved and subsequently approved with the council. And this is a revised master plan, and most of the changes are reconfiguring the program elements around. So the picnic areas, adding a zip line component to Trower Park, which obviously has got a nice natural slope that will accommodate it. And then updating some sort of art elements into some of the existing hardscape surfaces that were previously proposed, like the basketball court and the skate area. The following update is for the Archery Project. I'm just going to briefly describe the exhibits because I'm going to pan through them as I'm talking. The first one is what the archery site is within the Lagoon Valley Park. And then the second exhibit will be another aerial of the site that's a little bit more zoomed in. And then I'll end it with some imagery of the existing site conditions. So on August 25th, 2020, the City Council approved a resolution for the Parks and Rec Master Plan, or Parks and Rec Department, to apply for the per capita grant. The grant was awarded to the department in March of 2022. The city was awarded $177,952, and a minimum match of 20% of the total project cost is required. So the city will be providing a Measure M grant fund match program in the amount of $44,488. The project selected to receive the grant monies is the archery site at Loon Valley, and the improvements to the range will include paved parking, improved paved access, reorientation of the shooting lanes for improved safety, and planting and irrigation improvements. The department hopes to continue providing instruction classes as well as hosting events. So this is currently what it looks like now. You've got a access road off of the main spine and an unpaved parking lot area. And then just to the right, sort of in the middle of the picture, there are the targets. And this is kind of what it looks like from the ground. And my final update is regarding Sierra Vista Park. Councilmember Sullivan, Commissioner Berruman, Director Hubbard, and myself participated in some outreach efforts at the Sierra Vista Back to School Night on August 30th and 31st. We shared the updated master plan along with some equipment options for parents, students, and teachers to vote on. We had over 300 participants, and we will share the information with our consultant and explore our best options to share the results with the community and the school folks. So this is the updated master plan, which you've all seen before. And then this is the color schemes that were provided to vote on. I believe the bottom green and blue iteration is what won. These were additional play element components that were proposed. I believe option number 9 had the most votes. So as part of our routine check-in with Chair Vasquez preceding this particular meeting, she brought up a question about Centennial and Arlington lighting projects. That isn't being held or managed by our department, but I do have an update that I can provide. Public Works Engineering is working with a design consultant to prepare construction documents, specifications, and cost estimates for the lighting projects at one field for Centennial and one for Arlington. They're currently in a 65% construction document phase of the project and are anticipated to be constructed during the baseball offseason next year. So construction should start June of 2023, run for about 12 weeks, and about September or so. I can't answer any specific questions about that because I'm not managing the project, but if you do have any questions for me, I can relay those to Public Works Engineering. I am working in tandem with them to revise some of the conditional use permits so that they can make this project a reality. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Park Planner Gonzalez? Commissioner McMahon.
Hey, Nemo. My question is regarding Trower Park. So it's interesting that there's a zip line going in there. I recall recently watching the local news, and I believe it was in Davis. They have a zip line at a park, and the neighbors are complaining. And now the city has to move it because it sounds like a freight train every time it goes down. And I'm sure there's all kinds of options and all kinds of different designs or whatever you want to call it. Has that been thought about? I know, I guess it would be to the, just adjacent to that, I believe there's apartments in that area. So I think that's something, obviously we got to consider that, just so, you know, it's going to be a main attraction there at that park, and there's going to be kids on it from sun up to about sundown. Has that been considered?
Yeah, so whenever any sort of high-use sort of equipment is proposed, not only the zip line in this particular park, but the missing pad will both be very popular, and they will attract more users to the park. It is a consideration, however, what is done in terms of proposed remedies like sound attenuation or vegetation hasn't been explored because we're currently just moving out of the master planning phase, but it's something that we can explore further as we get into DD and construction documents.
Great, thank you. So the solution in Davis was, it was a $50,000 fix. They were just moving it from one side of the park to the other, and it was going to cost the city about $50,000. So I hope we don't end up in that same result. So it sounds like you guys are all over it, and the planning phase will consider that. So thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner questions or comments? Saw a hand up over here, but down. Okay, there you go.
Then I hit it by accident, and I turned it back on, then I turned it back on. But anyways.
It's like we're back on Zoom. You're muted, Commissioner Brew.
Well, Nemo, thank you so much for your presentation. And yeah, it was a lot of fun at Sierra Vista Park to be entertaining and being part of that. Just the feedback from all the children, the parents, they were feeling so good for being part of participation. I think it's really great to do that. I think we should do that a lot more because it keeps them engaged, keeps us transparent, and keeps us doing the right thing. But Reggie was great out there. It was a heat. Next time, I think you brought some shade or something, didn't you? But it was a little hot, but the participation was awesome. Thank you.
I thought for sure you were going to show off that you won the bet.
Oh, I'm not a bragger.
Any other commissioner questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, I have just a couple comments and potentially a question. I was able to attend the July 26th City Council meeting, and just seeing the agenda in advance and being able to attend, but seeing these revised Trower Park plans are really, really exciting to have been a part of the process through pretty much, you know, initial discussions with the community. This is a really great potential plan for the park and very exciting. I appreciate Commissioner McMahon's comment though about the zip line, because I know there were some community members that were concerned about the skate park and the noise that would make, and it is on a slope and incline, and so I don't know, the noise may reverberate against kind of like the taller apartment building. So good catch, Commissioner McMahon. I wasn't able to attend Sierra Vista. I really wish I could have. We also had back to school night that night, but it's very exciting to see that those plans start to come to fruition. And then something, Nemo, that you just brought up, the lighting and doing those lights in post-season play, just making sure that when, you know, we're in good communication with the leagues about those specific fields, even though it's not a Parks and Rec project, it's Public Works, but Parks and Rec works directly with those leagues and ensuring that they know that post-season play won't be able to happen on those fields, because sometimes they do host Little League tournaments at the end of the season. So just wanted to note that. But other than that, thank you so much. No other questions or comments? Yeah, thank you so much, Nemo. And where are we? So moving on to agenda item 12. Acting Recreation Manager Elizabeth Crescente, if you wouldn't mind are you moving? Okay. Reports, program updates.
Yes, thank you, Commission Chair. So Tracy is going to be she's me over there. So even though it doesn't feel like fall outside right now, we are actually transitioning into fall programs. So I just have a few updates for you all tonight about what we're bringing back now that everyone's back in school. We have also brought back our preschool program, which just started back yesterday. We are hosting 3 sites. They are full. Both our 4-year-old age group and our 3-year-old age group is full. So that is very exciting. TGIF also started back up. Lisa gave us a great background on that earlier, so I won't talk too much about it, but just that we are hoping to be able to bring back after school, before school. That is definitely a goal for later this year, if we can bring on the staffing for it. And I believe almost all of our sites are full for after school care. And then, of course, our fall baseball program is huge. We're starting that right now. Practices actually start next week, and then games will start early October. We actually are hosting 37 teams, and that is between the recreation and the competitive leagues, and that is the highest number that we have hosted even pre-COVID that we could find. So I think we found a winner on this program. So we are very excited about that. Next slide, Tracy. Thank you. And then, of course, we are bringing back some of our teen programs, and we have a couple new ones as well. So we're very excited to be hosting Open Mic Night, which is going to give all of our tweeners and teens an opportunity to flex their creative muscle and kind of, be able to express themselves in a safe space. So the first one is going to be held at the end of September on the 28th at Ulatis. We are also offering a new study session for folks that might feel they need a little extra assistance with homework. So that is going to be really exciting to be able to provide that, especially with all of our kids who are still struggling a little bit coming back from online learning the last couple of years. And then probably the biggest win for us right now with the teen programs is TAG. It's our brand new teen advisory group. We have 10 applications of students that we're going to be interviewing next week, and then we'll be hosting the first meeting later this month. So this group will meet regularly throughout the school year and will provide kind of be that liaison to the teen demographic that is always so incredibly hard for us to reach. If we're not if we're not right there on their phones, it doesn't exist. So we are going to take this opportunity to have a teen advisory group to help us plan some events that will really target that age group. And then we're hoping that they'll be able to actually be a part of the Vacaville planning process, which I think most of you are familiar with. That's become kind of a big staple event for that program area. Next slide, Tracy. And then you did meet our new active aging coordinator earlier, Giorgio. We are so excited to have her on board. So a couple of things that Giorgio's already done in the short time that she's been here. We are bringing on a couple of new volunteers. We had some folks in the pipeline, and I think they've been cleared. So we're starting with some new training, and what that means is that we'll be able to bring back the morning coffee, which is so incredibly important over at McBride. That social opportunity for our seniors to start their day is really crucial. And having had my office over at McBride previously, I can tell you that it's a party down there every morning. So we're very excited for that. That'll provide a some more normalcy, I think, for our senior population that was very used to having that be a part of their routine. And then Georgie extended our pool room hours, so she's got huge fans in our guys who play billiards. So friends for life, I think. So that's pretty exciting, and we're looking forward to more programming changes and tweaks and new things that Georgie's going to bring to the table. Next slide, Tracy. And I think that's it. So any questions about where we're going with fall programs?
Any commissioner questions or comments for Elizabeth? Commissioner Shea.
I love the study session opportunity. I think that's fantastic. I'm a teacher, so I know that there's just a huge need coming out of the pandemic and gaps in learning. How are you promoting that program? And are there any like partnerships with like community organizations or schools so that you can really target the kids that need it, or the kids that might not, you know, regularly take advantage of the teen program but still really need that help?
Right. I think right now we're using some of our more traditional marketing avenues because we are coming out of summer. So social media is our new biggest avenue of reaching folks. We're hoping that this teen advisory group is going to help provide that additional communication chain with the kids who are on the various campuses because we are looking at having applicants from different schools. So kind of bringing them together to be that centralized advisory committee. So word of mouth as well will always help. And then when we do some of our other teen events, we have a 6th grade event planned at the end of October. So just being able to promote through those types of programs as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think just kind of tagging along on what Commissioner Shea said, if you have a child in the school district, you know that we just moved to Parent Square. So the school district had been using School Loop for many, many moons, and they just moved us all to Parent Square and Student Square. And it may be a potential opportunity to connect with the school district about marketing opportunities, because I mean, they notify us all day long of all kinds of things, all kinds of events, heat warnings, ambulance at Vaca High, like, so, I mean, there's push notifications all day long on this app. I mean, it's great because I only have one place to go to, to look up information for all 3 kids, and all 3 schools and all their classes and all the things, but it may be a potential good opportunity to partner with them on some
that's a
marketing
great
events,
suggestion.
so.
Thank you for that. We will definitely look into it.
She made me think of it.
Good call. Parent Square, I like it.
Yeah.
We do have some connections with the school district to be able to put some flyers on their website. And so we're able to do that. But obviously, I mean, even that's getting a little kind of archaic in terms of just there's so much information out there. And we want to try and find the most direct way to reach the demographic.
Yeah, definitely. Commissioner Shea's got another comment.
He always has another comment. I think, like, you made a comment that kind of made me think of this, a really direct way to connect with students that have like the highest need would perhaps be to get in touch with the school's engagement officer.
Oh, nice.
Because they're the ones, and I actually know him and have his contact information if you'd like it.
Oh,
and I can connect you with him, and with one of them.
Deans of learning on other campuses.
Yeah, they have district level and then campus level, depending on the school. So that could be a good avenue because they're working with the students that need the most help and the most re-engagement support.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments for Elizabeth? Okay, well, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that update. Moving on to, where am I at? Agenda item 13, reports of Acting Director Reggie Hubbard.
Thank you, Commission Chair. I just have a few quick things, and I'm going to steal something from Elizabeth, but at the same time give her kudos. I want to give a shout out and to Councilmember Silva, because we all know how hot it was this past weekend. And he worked with Elizabeth and her staff at the pool to make it free for everyone to attend the pool. He also bought everyone popsicles and Otter Pops and paid for concessions, popcorn. He came to visit, and he fed the staff. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Councilman Silva, because that was tremendous for us. And I think we reached capacity, almost reached capacity on all 3 days. We had like 400 or 500 people at the pool on those days. So thank you to him and his support to our programs.
Did I hear correctly, Fairfield closed their pool because of some?
I'm not sure about that.
Yes.
Did they close their pool?
Yes, they closed their pool. So we had some.
She's like, yes, they closed their pool.
That's correct.
I'll have to ask Fairfield why.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that, but we'll get back to you on that one. The other thing, our new park ranger started this week, actually started yesterday, went through an orientation, just as, Commissioner Thompson stated earlier, with the field use and having unauthorized use on some of our baseball fields and some of our soccer fields and football fields, this park ranger will help support that. We have one park ranger that's really focused in on Lagoon Valley Park, that does the citations and just education at Lagoon Valley Park. But this, our new park ranger will be more at our community parks and our neighborhood parks, making sure that everyone who's there is authorized to be there. We have a lot of folks bringing bounce houses out to the parks that are unauthorized. That's a safety issue. So he will be really focusing in on that. So we're happy to have him start yesterday. And last but not least, we have our October meeting, we will be revisiting the Park and Rec Master Plan. So I wanted to give the commission a heads up. I know you guys have been looking forward to this. It's been, I wouldn't say it's been on the shelf. It's been on, our shelf for a couple of years since we've approved it, but we've been doing a lot of projects within the Park and Rec Master Plan. But all the projects are they've either been the Measure M projects, these smaller, the Sierra Vista, the Trower Park, some of those projects, which are great and they're moving forward. But we want the commission to start to think about the larger projects, the sports complex, the skate center, the Owl Patch Park project, Centennial Park Master Plan. We want the commission to start to provide input, and not at this next meeting, but start to prioritize where we want to go with some of these larger projects, right? And then we want to bring that to the city council. I know when we met with Commissioner Vasquez, she asked about the 3x3 committee, and this is not to supplement that committee or to do away with that committee, but we just want all the commissioners to have feedback on all these larger projects versus just having 3 commissioners and 3 council members having feedback on these larger projects. So we want to start here, start those conversations, sort of get a game plan where we want to go with these larger projects, because these smaller projects are already moving forward. So we want to get your input on that. And so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And we're really going to be focused on the action plan part of the Park and Rec Master Plan. So if you can go in and take a look at that piece, and Tracy did a good job and directed us to it's 6.4 in the Park and Rec Master Plan. That's the action plan piece. So if you kind of get familiar with those projects, I think that would help as we present those projects at the October meeting. And I think that is all I have, and I can answer any questions if you like.
Any questions or comments for Acting Director Hubbard?
Am I the only one freezing over here too?
I have 2 comments. One, would it be possible for us to get the slides after this meeting, I think from Nemo's presentation, and then maybe just that citation of the action plan that was in that slide?
Yes.
And then second, I think it may be helpful to go back. I know I think I've been on the commission now 2-ish years, 2.5-ish years. And we've seen a couple master plans come through, like Nelson, Alpat. Am I missing one? I guess just like also like status update on those. Like I know they went through us, but they never hit council. And so what's going on with those? What's the status of those? I think when we're looking at like the action plan of the park master plan. So.
We can provide an update on some of those projects, but many of the neighborhood parks won't go to the city council, right? But we can provide a spreadsheet on where they are in the process.
Okay.
The larger projects, like we're going to explore the next meeting, will go to the city council. But once you guys approve, like the Sierra Vista, the only reason the Trower Park master plan went to the council, because they needed more money. They needed more funding, and Silva got that money for them, which was great.
Yeah.
But typically, they will not go past you guys. You guys approve them, and then we start construction, and they go to build. But we can certainly have Nemo come and give you guys an update on that as well.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to agenda item 14, reports of commission. Before we go through each commissioner, we've got 14A on here, discuss commissioner volunteers to judge costumes at the Halloween event on Saturday, October 29th. And I think someone from the staff was gonna have the time on that, right? The time for the event, so we know.
Commission Chair, yes, we did say we were going to have the time for that, and I do not have the time for that.
In the past, it's been 11 to 1.
11:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defer to, Commissioner Berruman, who was there last year, or the last time we had it.
Make sure you guys are in costume, and then your dog can go along with you dressed alike. And, I mean, it was pretty cool. I was actually judged last year, or the last time it was, and it was a lot of fun, and I really recommend each one. If you guys haven't done it, to volunteer to do it. It only takes a couple hours, but it's a lot of fun just to see how much time they took to dress their dog and themselves that look alike.
But I think it is 11 o'clock, Commissioner Chair, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. But we can get that information to you.
And we need 2 or 3 volunteers?
Not to violate the Brown Act, I think we can only have 3.
3.
Yes.
Last year was me, Jennifer.
I think we're gonna have games.
You gotta have games.
I think
I will
we'll have
only
games.
step in for those that don't want to do it because I want you guys all to experience it.
Yeah,
I'll be like a sub.
Very gracious of you, Ralph.
Sure, I will volunteer.
Okay, so Commissioner Oz, do we have any other volunteers?
A question about like the time commitment, because I did commit to being at the Play for All grand opening as well. Is that something we'd like need to show up a little bit early for? Can I just like run and clench at the last minute and just start judging, or? Yeah, it's the same morning. I do think they are planning the Play for All grand opening to not conflict, but I think it'll be like back to back.
Right.
With that event.
No, we can prep you before, like the day before or something. You can just come right in and judge if we can make that happen.
Yeah, then I think I'll just, back to back.
I can do it. Commissioner Shea and Gutierrez?
Yep.
And Commissioner McMahon, you had your hand up?
I was just going to say the same thing that Commissioner Berruman said. I've had the opportunity to do it twice. It's a lot of fun. Could be an alternate if we don't have enough people, but I would absolutely encourage others to take advantage of it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun day.
We have 3, so Oz, Shea, and Gutierrez, and then alternates McMahon and Berruman. Okay, thank you all for that. So moving on to individual reports, Commissioner Oz.
Thank you, Chair. I do just have one comment. My wife and I are not getting any younger, and we work really hard to try to stay as fit as we can. Just a little bit of a story. Last summer, we started playing tennis. We were like teaching ourselves tennis at Allen Creek Park, and we were going out every single night and got to the point where we were looking up to actually take tennis lessons. And unfortunately, my wife tore her tendon, and that went completely out the window. And then this summer, I got the opportunity to take back up racquetball at the Air Force Base, and was looking forward to that. And then just recently fractured my shoulder and had to have surgery. And so I'm recovering from surgery, and I get Diana Flores' letter about pickleball. And my I was actually thinking, gosh, why didn't I start with that first before the other two sports? It would have saved a lot of pain and money. But I just wanted to say that I was very moved by Diana Flores's letter about pickleball. I was very moved about the passion that was in the room this evening, and I'd like to learn a little bit more about, you know, what are some solutions to get them more access to pickleball. So I don't know, I'll certainly start my own learning tour. I don't know if we can possibly bring that back to the commission at another time and roll up our sleeves and try to come up with some type of solution. But there was a lot of passion in this room. It sounds, I mean, they made a very compelling case of why they deserve pickleball. So I'd like to see that brought back.
Commissioner Brew, hold on. Commissioner Shea raised her hand. So let me pass the mic to her.
I echo Commissioner Oz's statements. Pickleball took the chambers tonight by storm, and I was also very impressed by their passion and their organization and their speaking skills and all of the above. You seem together a pretty well-spoken and accomplished group of players. I have some like specific questions too. A lot of people were talking about kind of the confusion of like having converted courts and sharing the tennis court with pickleball. And so I'd like to know a little bit more about, you know, just feasibleness of what is it if you're just adding nets and lines versus like dedicated courts. Just more information like that. And again, if we're revisiting, you know, the master plan, you know, how can pickleball and accommodating, you know, this large and active group of people into that, and some of the other opportunities he talked about in North Vacaville, and the lighted courts as well. That was one. And I know that I've asked questions about like lighted things in parks in the evening, and I know that there's, you know, time constraints and curfews, but I think in California, gosh, we're light pretty late, but then in the fall and spring, it's like something worth looking at. So maybe having those specific questions answered at a later meeting.
So do we need a second for any of this to bring it back to?
Well, if you want it put on the agenda, we can do this one or two ways. We can have Nemo come and provide a report under the reports of the park planner next meeting, and because we do have some information about some pickleball courts that are going in. Or you can vote to put it on the agenda and we can agendize it for the next meeting as well. So either way, is that correct? I'm sorry, I probably should have asked legal before I answered that question.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, if there is more than one commissioner that would like that to come back to the commission, we can work out with staff where best to put it on the agenda.
Does agendizing it give the public more opportunity to speak upon it if it's agendized versus if it's just a staff report item?
Again, you know, we can talk about where staff puts it on the agenda, but if it's put on as a business item and they're providing a report, then the chair would open that for public hearing. But there's nothing that the chair may take public comment on any item that's on any place in the agenda. So there's nothing precluding the chair from getting input from the public, regardless of where it is.
I think anybody.
Chair Vasquez, that's up to you, but you don't have public comment open at this time. So if you're going to take public comment, then you should, I guess, open this portion of commissioner comments for public input.
Can we ask the public to maybe send an email?
Yes.
Can we send an email? Okay, perfect. So where was I? So Commissioner Shea basically agreeing with Commissioner Oz and bringing it back to commission. Okay, so moving on to Commissioner Berman. Any commissioner reports?
No, I echo the same what our fellow commissioners have brought up regarding the pickleball. Again, I was like Commissioner McMahon. I thought we were going to get paddled and karateed out. One way or another, people were going to get what they wanted. But also, I want to thank the staff for their reports and welcome Giorgio to the staff. Thank you for your report. And Melissa, thank you so much. And thank you guys. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Commissioner Gutierrez. Any reports?
Same, but I also heard a also singular but very loud voice by you, sir. I was really interested and very interested in even learning more about the project. I didn't know about the garden and all of that, and I'm sorry if it was presented before and I just didn't retain that information. There's a lot going on, but very interested in learning more. I will be looking up more about sustainable salons, okay, and about volunteers that you need. I would love to hear more about that and what, even if it's outside of being a commissioner, what I can do to volunteer to help. That project sounded fascinating, and would love to hear and know more about that. Also really exciting to hear about, not really exciting, but just all the social media about the cooling centers. It's been so hot outside, and even just personally, I've been seeing different posts on social media about where can people go. I've been sharing it every time I see that. So just everyone that's been, involved in the city of making sure that those centers are open and available. Thank you for doing that. It is much, much needed. Again, about the pools. I can't even imagine how at capacity we must be for having those pools open during this crazy heat wave. So thank you guys for having that available as well. And that is it from me.
Thank you, Commissioner Gutierrez. Commissioner McMahon.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to address the pool and a shout out to the Walter Graham aquatic staff for being there this weekend. That's not an easy task. Well, other cities were closing their pools, and I do believe it was due to excessive heat. We extended our hours, and that requires more staff for a longer period of time and lifeguards. And as we know, nationally, there's a shortage of lifeguards. So many public pools throughout the nation closed this summer. They just didn't have the lifeguards. We kept that pool open all summer, and it's still open. And that's a credit to the staff and the management for doing that. Thank you so much. This year, I had the pleasure of having a front row seat of what it is to be a young lifeguard in Vacaville. And I will tell you, it's a great experience. It is a confidence builder. It's an amazing opportunity, and the staff is first class with these young group of people. There was a comment made earlier tonight about Parent Square. I think it's a great idea. I really hope that we can reach out maybe towards the end of the school year and make sure that these young people know that this opportunity is available. The pay is very competitive. You learn a life skill that you hopefully never have to use. But it's a great life skill that will benefit you throughout the rest of your life. So it's just a great opportunity. And I look forward to building that program with you guys next year and just filling those positions. With no lifeguards, the pool doesn't stay open. It's as simple as that. So we have to fill those spots. One of the other options that I saw over the past summer was our seniors are becoming lifeguards. So that's an option. It's a physical job and it's a mental job. And I probably could not pass the lifeguard test, but I know there's a lot of very strong seniors out there that could. And, I think that that would be a great option as well. So if we can look at, our youth as well as our seniors out there at the pool, I think it's a great opportunity for us and for that program. So thank you so much. I do appreciate our council members putting the money back into the community like they did over this past weekend. Those are Measure M funds that the citizens paid, and that money belongs to the citizens. And so thank you very much to the council members that put that money back into the community. And again, thank you to the lifeguards and staff. Thank you so much, and try to stay cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner McMahon. Commissioner Shea, did you have additional reports? Okay. Vice Chair Thompson?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Parks and Recreation staff for all their hard work this summer and moving into fall. It's great to see all these programs thriving and being full. I mean, 7 teams, that's incredible. Plus the pool, plus all these other programs going on. It's definitely an improvement from where we have been the last couple of years. So I know that takes a lot of effort for all the Parks and Recreation staff. I also was impressed with some of the pickleball presentations tonight, and I would be interested to see presentations. So I don't know how that, whether it's Park Plan or Nemo, gives options, pros and cons of striping or converting tennis courts. I know that they would like some dedicated courts. I'm a big fan of multi-use facilities across the board for all sports, but I also want to see all sports outside doing activity at all ages, all the time, every day, 365 days a year. I'm a big sports proponent, so I would definitely be interested in seeing more about that. So thank you everyone for your presentations and staff for all that you do.
Thank you, Vice Chair Thompson. Just a quick few updates for me. I was able to attend the July City Council meeting and was there with Tracy and presented Director Walker with flowers on behalf of the commission. So I didn't ask anybody, I just did it, sorry, so I'll apologize later. And then I was also able to just pop in and stop by her retirement, which also was really great. So Parks and Rec not only puts a lot of effort and energies into, you know, our programs, but also into their individuals on their teams. And Carrie's retirement was very beautiful and very nice. And I hope you guys got the video to go. I don't know, did it work? No? Did you send it out? Maybe send us a link? I don't know, that'd be fun to see. Yeah, so there was a video for Carrie in it, but it wouldn't play, technology. Hopefully everybody was able to grab the most recent Vacaville magazine. On the cover is the art from the Rocky Hill Trail art project. And so Melody Ocampo, our recreation manager, wrote a really great article about the project. And so it's just great to see some additional eyes on the project. I too would like to hear more about what you all are doing there. I had to call my dad and Mike, council member Silva, about they had an event there and they were doing work a couple weekends ago, and I was like, why didn't you call me? I would have dropped the kids off to give you all some additional labor with council member Silva's troop, who were installing plants and stuff there. So, but also just want to commend the pickleball community for coming out tonight too. I was able to go through the packet before the meeting and also YouTubed how to play pickleball. I actually live by North Orchard, so I see the groups out there all the time. So now maybe I won't feel as intimidated to actually kind of just step in and try it out, since they seem like such a welcoming group. So, but yeah, it's very interesting and definitely looking forward to having that come back to the commission for a discussion item. I would cite though, at the July City Council meeting, the tennis community came in and spoke during business from the floor. So if the commissioners have an opportunity to listen to that too, I would listen to that feedback as well. They spoke directly to the City Council during business from the floor. So, and I believe that was July 26th, if I have it right in my brain. But with that, I think that's all of our reports. And with that, we will adjourn to the regular meeting of Parks and Rec on Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Thank you all. Good night, Vacaville.